Oh, hi! You didn't see me there. Anyway, welcome to Safe State Cinema Episode 2. We actually made it beyond the big hurdle of doing only one at a time. Anyway, quick breakdown of how we do this. Take a video game movie, rate it based on 3 categories: game feel, quality, entertainment value, add it to a list, find out where it stands. We're doing them all, no matter how much we don't want to. Today we're handling Need for Speed, as it says down there. The quick way to explain this movie is, it's a movie about street racing and cars. The fun way to break it down is like this. Car, maybe impressive, but the bank don't care. Sure, your crew of friends is small, but when you drive by, all the people stare. You know you could be bigger, but now you just street race to get by. Sure, the races aren't legal. Got friends looking for cop cars from the sky. You've got a fast car, but you want a way to get us out of here. Just working at your custom shop doesn't really make you any kind of money. You just need to fix one car. You've got an order, but the guy is shitty, though no one wants to take the job. It's your only choice to make more than a living. Now the client, he has a problem. He went pro and now he can't be slow. Then he said you 3 should race, just you and he and your little bro. Now gunning for the downtown bridge. Said the finish line was on the other side, but when he saw your brother ahead of him, he flipped his car and your brother died. You had a fast car, now all you've got is pain and tears. Too bad those cars weren't legal. Got the blame and put in jail 2 years. So remember when you were driving in your car, going so fast and life was fun. Headlights shine bright before us, speed so fast to force back my shoulders. But now everything just can't be the same, and just because you couldn't fight your need for speed, need for speed, need for speed. You need a fast car for the daily own where you show yourself, but it's just not that easy. Gotta drive across the country with a British girl, gotta get the boys back together, but they don't want to work, so it's an easy task. In fact, Rami Malek quits right on the spot and he shows his ass. So now we are driving in the car, drive so fast to make it in time. USA spreads out before us, state to state, just crossing borders. And I may not know where to go, but I am sure feeding into my need for speed, need for speed, need for speed. In the fast car, but now you don't care if you get beat. Dino is all you want. Gotta get him in jail and avenge Pete. We made it to the De Leon, but the car is totaled. How will we pull through? But then we get help from Dino's girl. It's the murder car, but it will do. So now you are driving in the car that started all this, but we'll clear your name. Race road lines out before us, flying past wrecks that smoke and smolder. And maybe I won't win it all, but I will finally quench my need for speed, need for speed, need for speed. Got a fast car, got your revenge at the end of the day, but was it all worth it? Cause you still got cuffed and dragged away.
Oh, it's you! You're the new driver. I heard you was coming by. Good to have you, man. I heard you was one with the tragic backstory. Man, that's gonna help you out. I don't know why, but it does. But as you probably already know, we don't settle our problems with our fists out here. No, we settle them on the street. So if you wanna be one of us, you gotta get yourself a kick-ass ride like this one. Anyway, I ain't the only one who's gonna be driving, so you need to meet the rest of the team. Come on, let's go to the garage. Anyway, here we are. Here we got Big Scaredy, Pink Streak, Gabagool, and let me introduce you to the quiet one. And me, I'm obnoxious.
It was me the whole time. Anyway, for the movie review, we'll just start out with game feel, and let's do the positives. Game feel in this one is pretty solid. I would say that a lot of the aspects come from the fact that driving is everything, in the sense that whatever war could possibly be going on at the time doesn't matter, because there's people on the street and they're going fast, man. Also, a lot of the cars that they use are very similar to the ones in the game. They're not exactly the same. I know that the Koenigsegg is a big deal in later games, so that may have come from the movie. It's kind of hard to say. The characters in the movie are pretty unlikable, but it's weird because that is a very big plus to game feel. I don't know if you've ever seen a cutscene from the game before.
What did I tell you?
Razor, he shadowed me. I couldn't shake up.
Another bolt-on Wonder Boy looking to get smoked. Why don't we save you the grief and peel those parts right now?
But they're pretty unlikable. And it kind of fits with the whole theme of this being the Need for Speed movie. So it's a negative, but it's a plus towards the game feel. There is a lot of environmental damage in this movie. And it's not that the games have a ton of it, like they're not Burnout, and it's not the driving point of the game. But the movie definitely does have similar scenes of driving through the city with reckless abandon and not really caring what you hit. Another positive to game feel score are 3 specific outliers that are not necessarily from any one game, but they do encompass several games across the franchise before this movie. And that's outrunning the cops, winning your opponent's car, and driving across country. Another additive to game feel score is the fact that there is a big secret race that at the same time is not secret at all, because it seems to be broadcast everywhere and it's a huge deal. For game feel negative, this movie is weird, and I'll get more into this at the end, but the story in this is too much of an actual story for this. Like, there are plots in the Need for Speed games, some more than others, but this movie has a plot that's kind of wasted in this movie. And again, I'll get more into that later. The other game feel negative that I couldn't really piece together was the plane friend. I assumed I was going to find one in the many hours of cutscene footage that I watched on YouTube, that there was some sort of plane friend somewhere. The best I can think is the plane friend is the explanation for the nav system that kind of just is more futuristic than anything that currently exists. Just someone watching out. So surprisingly enough, this movie ended up with a 90 in game feel, which honestly, I mean, the game is about driving a car in a street race. You get that down and you're pretty good. Now let's move on to quality. And the quality positives, the stunt driving is really, really good. It's well done. The races are exciting and the wrecks are exciting, and a lot of it's really exciting. It never really gets to the over-the-top ridiculous level that like Fast and the Furious eventually gets to. It's all kind of believable. There are some wrecks of just kind of cars around town that seem like they wouldn't necessarily be just ignored as they are, but I mean, it's a racing movie. It's fine. I don't know if this counts as stunt driving, but like the action driving is really good. The whole scene with Rami Malek hanging off and refueling the car, it didn't need to be in there, and as dumb as it is, it's pretty fun. It's just a scene that kind of comes and goes, and then it just... Why did he do that? I don't know. Because he couldn't stop? Well, he does stop at a gas station later, so what was the point? But hey, I enjoyed it while I watched it. Also, this one's going to take some convincing because I've explained it to the people who watched before and they don't believe me. So again, I'll get more into this later. But the first 30 minutes of this movie, legitimately a good movie. Like I'm seeing a pattern. I'm going to have to watch these movies a lot when I do these reviews. And the more I watch it, the more I'm starting to pick up little details that like, well, this didn't make sense before. But again, if a movie can't portray that on the first watch, should it be counted? I don't know. But in this case, it's a good movie for the first 30 minutes. The rest, it's more based on taste. And the quality negatives, however, the acting is bad. This one's the one that's gonna be the most confusing. The acting is bad, but is it? Because they're acting well, they're really good actors, but they're unlikable? But is that on purpose? Like, are they being told to be this way? Like, I don't know. But because ultimately the characters are not fun to watch and listen to because of the awful dialogue, it's negative. So I don't know if I can call the acting bad, but as far as the portrayal of the character via the actor, I didn't enjoy watching them. Whether that was on purpose or not, that's a negative. And I don't really know what to call that other than unlikable character. There's kind of too many characters that ultimately don't matter. Aaron Paul's crew, by the end of the movie, I kind of forgot about them. They're really important early, but then only Kid Cudi is, and just because he keeps stealing planes. It just feels like wasted footage to keep going back to these people and then just drop them. This is going to reiterate the point that I made just a little bit ago, but it's bad enough where I need to make it its own statement. These characters sabotage these actors. It's the most mind-boggling thing I can think of is I know that you're acting well. You're doing really good. Aaron Paul, you're a good actor. Dominic Cooper, you're a good actor. Michael Keaton, you're a good actor. Imogen Poots, you're probably doing your best. Kid Cudi, you're a musician. The other guy, I don't know your name. You're all doing well, and it's like, who's to blame? Because somebody is. You're not doing this by choice. If you did, it would be really good. For example, look at this scene where Aaron Paul is freaking out over the death of his brother. It's not actually his brother. It's his little bro. And so the quality score comes up to be a confusing 35. This is going to be a short one. Positives. If you like this kind of movie, there is plenty for you to like. Negatives. If you don't like this kind of movie, i.e. fast car driving, there's not enough to keep you engaged. This movie started off with a really interesting story and just kind of went, let's get that out of the way so we can have really dumb, over-the-top ridiculous nonsense happen, not the racing, but like being suspended by a helicopter while gang members shoot at you. I think they were hired by Dominic Cooper, but I'm not exactly sure about that, because they were definitely in the race later. But did he hire them to eliminate the competition? But they were also competition. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what was going on there. Maybe I will watch it again and figure it out, but I'm not doing it again for this review. I've done it enough. I'd like to remind everybody that these scores come from the average of everyone who watched, and most people only watched it once. So it left it with an entertainment score of 15. Personally, I put it at about at least a 40, because when you really peel away what this story is about, it's like, oh man, I wish this was in a different movie, which leaves us with a final score of 47, which puts it here on the chart. It's not surprising it's in between the other two. There's only been 3 movies so far. So in the final thoughts on this one, what I was saying before that I was going to save to the end, I peeled away this movie quite a bit because I was looking at the cutscenes of the game versus the movie. Because just so you see, like, behind the curtain of this show, if I've never played the game, I watch the game content to make the comparison. The actors in this movie are acting like the people in the game. I don't know how to judge that. Because on the one hand, you have good actors who want to do a role properly. They would maybe research the role. Should they look at these cutscenes, they would find out this is how I'm supposed to be. They get the dialogue that is written by, I'm not sure. I know the story was written by the same person who did Kong Skull Island and Flight, which explains why the story is solid and a really good story for this kind of movie. I would love to pull this story and give it to someone else. The directing, though, that may be where the blame is, because the person who directed this movie prior to this movie was just a stunt coordinator for many movies. And it really did feel like he wanted to rush through the story to get to the part he knows well. And by God, he knows it well. The stunts in this movie are great, but you can't start out with something compelling and then rush through it and expect those two things to meld. I've mentioned this story a couple times, so let me go into the quick rundown of what it actually is, because the song, that was the synopsis of the movie. Here's the plot, and it's pretty good. Aaron Paul's father owns a custom shop. He dies. He inherits the custom shop and all the people who work there. However, the custom shop is not doing well. The bank wants to foreclose on it. He wants to keep it open to keep his friends employed and to keep his dad's shop alive. They're street racing with their good custom cars to both get their name out there and to earn money, but they're only earning about $5,000 per race. Not enough to keep the banks off their back. Dominic Cooper plays a former rival. I believe he is the Mr. Steal Your Girl of this movie, but that happened in the past, so now he and Aaron Paul have an issue. His current girlfriend is also Pete's sister. Dominic Cooper left this town and became a Formula One driver. Didn't go so well, but now he has his name out there, and now he buys and sells cars as his business. He has access via his car collector uncle, which we never see, of an unfinished model Shelby that was done by Ford and Shelby before Shelby died, but it's unfinished. He wants to get them to actually finish the car and sell it to a collector for $2 million. They do a very good job. They get beyond the speed limit that they expected, and he ups the price to $3 million. Great, the shop will be saved. They're about to get a payout of $750,000. But everything changes when the ego of the two former rivals want to race, and Pete is also there. So they throw the Koenigseggs out there, and they race, and as it said, he kills Pete. He didn't mean to. He just meant to disable the car. So, in fear, he leaves. Aaron Paul, of course, stays behind, takes the blame, goes to jail. Custom shop goes under. Everyone has to split up. What do? You get out, and you have a mix of a revenge and I need to set things right story. He gets the speed-breaking Shelby back from the original collector with the intention of winning the De Leon race, because the prize for the collector will be roughly $4 million worth of cars. The other half goes to Aaron Paul to get everything right. But secretly, he wants to beat Dino so that he can put him in jail and get revenge for everything that happened to him. And then that's the story, because the De Leon, you have to audition essentially, and that's his driving through the city. He gets in. It's a mystery race on where it is. You have to get to California by a specific time in a specific place, but that's not where the race is. If you can make it there in time, you get the address for where the race actually is. And that's the story. However, that's only about 40 minutes of the movie. The rest of the movie is them driving, which they didn't know what to do with. And it's ridiculous. I see this movie as an intense amount of lost potential, and I feel truly bad for the wasted story that is in this movie. So ultimately, that's how I feel about it. I really don't even know how I would rate it, because again, I came to these conclusions after watching it about 4 times, and I don't really know why anyone else would do that unless you were doing a review show. So I don't really know if I could recommend it. But I do say that if you are curious about what I'm saying about the story, and you like that kind of thing, and you think that's intriguing, then watch it. I don't think you'll be disappointed in watching it, but just know that if you're going in expecting a crazy, action-packed driving movie, you get it, but it's going to be boring at the beginning. And if you expect a decently written story, you get that too, but it's going to be forgotten. I don't think this movie can appeal to any one particular person, and if they can, it's a really small percentage, and that's why this movie is not done well in the eyes of history. I think it's an appropriate lesson in, no matter how much you want to, you can't be Fast and the Serious. But anyway, thanks everybody for the second episode. I'm sorry it's taken as long as it's taken to come out. I don't get paid for these yet, and I say yet with a really hope that may change, but that's not my goal. I just want to do this. But, you know, my job, life, that's going to kind of take priority. So I'm getting them done as fast as I can. I'm a new editor. I'm learning this stuff. I am getting faster at it, though. So hopefully the next episode won't take a whole month to come out. That's not my intention. I would like them to come out a little bit more regularly, but I'm not comfortable yet to make that promise. So if everyone's liking this, please share it, like, I don't know. I don't know how to get these out there, honestly. So I hope everyone enjoys it. And I'll see y'all later next time. Bye. Oh man, someone's jacking my ride.